All right, it is now Houston Texans time. I should edit that, but I won't. So here's the deal with the Texans. First and foremost, we'll go through this like we usually do. I'm a little surprised at the situation they're in because, as a Packer fan, I came in thinking, man, there's two really young teams that are really talented and on the way up. And then when I looked at the Houston Texans roster, although there's certainly talent, I don't know that they necessarily meet the qualifications of being a young team that's ascending. The amount of human beings that are leaving seemingly very soon is pretty staggering. So, all right, we got C.J. Stroud. We're good there, right? Running back, Dameon Pierce, solid football player, right? I mean, he seems good enough. A little bit of a down year. I don't know if that's due to his injury. He missed a couple games or what. Workload certainly went down over time. Devin Singletary and Ogumawale are free agents. Don't know if they're coming back or not. At wide receiver, Tank Dell, great pickup. Nico Collins, surprisingly, is already in the final year of his deal. I'm no question he's coming back, but that's going to cost some money. So we got Nico Collins we're going to have to pay. Tank Dell is here. Robert Woods is in his final deal. Noah Brown is a free agent. So a little bit of depth there wouldn't kill us. At tight end, we have Schultz, as you can see here. I don't exactly know his status. For some reason, I'm not seeing it. But Andrew Beck, Brevin Jordan, both in the final years of their deal. Eric Saubert on his way out. Offensive line, Laramie Tunsil. Good football player, but he's 30 years old. Then we've got, man, oh man, Michael Dieter is on the way out. We've got Charlie Heck on the way out. Titus Howard is 28 and not good. I mean, the bottom line is we just need almost an entirely new offensive line. Again, Tunsil's a good football player, but he's 30. And I don't know for how much longer. And, again, we got George Fant and Josh Jones and Heck and Dieter and Quessenberry, all free agents right now. So that's going to be a big need to protect our quarterback. Defensively, what do we got? We got Will Anderson, great pickup, right? Outside of that, what do we have? Not much. Grenard, free agent. We got Myjai Sanders, as you can see, not really getting much from him. And there's just not even people there to play the position. So we need more talent and we need more bodies on the interior. Again, there's not much here. We got Malik Collins, who is so-so and old, right? 29, never really been a great football player. Hinish is, the fact that that's the number 2 guy that we're looking at here is crazy. Obviously not very good and a free agent after this year. Hassan Ridgeway, Khalil Davis, Tyre Tart, all free agents. McTelvin Agim was signed, I believe, but still, we have nothing here aside from Anderson. At the linebacker position, Blake Cashman, Denzel Perryman, and Neville Hewitt are all free agents. Jake Hansen's in the final year of his deal, which leaves the only long-term options, Henry To'o, however you say the guy's name, and Christian Harris. And as you can see, really not great situation there. So linebacker, definitely a need. At cornerback, Stingley was a great pickup. He looks great. Desmond King, 30-year-old free agent. DeAndre Houston, that's a safety. Tavier Thomas, Chris Boyd, also free agents. And Kadar Holman's in the final year of his deal. And I'm sorry, as a former Packer fan, Kadar Holman, that ain't the answer to anything. So we got Derek Stingley and basically nobody. And then at safety, again, not a lot. Jalen Petrie, I thought maybe he would be something. Not much doing there, but he is sort of our long-term option, second-round pick. Kareem Jackson, Adrian Amos, Graylin Arnold, DeAndre Houston Carson, and Eric Murray, all safeties, all free agents. Jimmy Ward, MJ Stewart are in the final years of their deal. Jimmy Ward is 33 years old, so he's got one more year and he's done. So we need an entire group of edge rushers, defensive linemen, linebackers, safeties, corners, and offensive line. Wide receiver depth wouldn't kill us. Tight end depth wouldn't hurt. And some running backs. Everything is what we need. So anyways, good quarterback. And if we can manage this, we can make something out of it. But anyways, with the let me get my Texans mock up. By the way, as it loads up here, this mock done by Mr. Jeffrey Wilson. So this is our $100 giveaway. If this video does the best right now, the Packers video is dominating. Packer fans just, I don't know, man. But if Jeffrey Wilson's Texans mock does the best, he's going to get himself $100. Excuse the yawning. I'm always tired 24/7. With the 23rd pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans select Talisi Fuaga out of Oregon State, 6'6", 334 pounds. Be kind of a dream to have him fall all the way to 23. It's not massively unreasonable, but it's certainly an option. And as you can see, primarily played right tackle. I think that's an instant starter over Titus Howard. This has just not worked. He's coming up on 28, so he's got some years left, but we're done with it. We're not doing it anymore. At pick 59, we've got Josh Newton, cornerback out of TCU, 6'190". You can see he's been a pretty good player at TCU the last couple of years, 84 coverage grade, 77 coverage grade in 2023. The passer rating when targeted has always been pretty solid, pretty consistent on a game-to-game basis. And again, going to be an instant starter, hopefully across from Stingley, because we just don't have anybody. At pick 85, Michael Pratt, quarterback out of Tulane. I do like Michael Pratt as a quarterback. Drafting a backup right now, I don't know if Texans fans are going to love it, but if you see some good value, I suppose you take it. I respect that. Follow your board, especially at an important position. And if you get into that, playoff push and your guy goes down, you're going to want somebody in there. That's the best sales pitch I can do. But anyways, at pick 94, we've got Tate Ratledge, guard out of Georgia, 6'6", 310. Clearly an elite pass blocker. Hopefully this past year, what he was able to do as a run blocker holds up. But even as you can see here, that was basically predicated on, mostly just this one game. Not a very good run blocker, but protecting the quarterback is the number one thing. And we certainly need help at the offensive line position. We did trade up, it looks like, to get that. I will show you that when we're all said and done here. Traded with the 49ers. Looks like for a player, whatever, it doesn't matter. With the 123rd pick, Cedric Van Pran, just getting the entire Georgia offensive line now, 6'4", 310 pounds out of Georgia. Again, a better pass blocker than run blocker, but it looks like he is improving. Should be a solid option. And as I said before, this whole thing here kind of just needs to get redone. So we've gotten, let's just say, the right side of the offensive line taken care of. Actually, is he, mostly a right guard. So there you go. So we got our tackle, our guard, and our center, and we'll just kind of roll with whatever we got at left guard, unless there's somebody else. We'll find out. At pick 127, running back out of Wisconsin, Braylon Allen, 20 years old, very young. 5.4 yards per attempt, 982 yards, 12 touchdowns, 4 fumbles, 75 PFF grade this past year. Big dude, 6'2", 245. A lot of those Wisconsin guys are absolute bangers. I really apologize. I don't know why I cannot stop yawning. But as I said, we certainly could use some more bodies in the running back room. We've got Singletary and Ongobuwale out the door. We'll see, again, if they end up coming back, but it's something that we could obviously use moving forward. At pick 131, Tyler Davis, defensive tackle out of Clemson, 6'2", 300 pounds, graded out extremely well the last 2 years, 83 and 86 PFF grades, primarily run defense. The 22 pressures and 2 sacks on 277 attempts is not great, especially for a guy that's only 300 pounds. Usually you're getting some kind of pass rush out of that. But we're getting into the later rounds, and again, certainly a need, because we just don't have anybody on this interior here. Collins is our guy, unfortunately. At 29 years old, that's about as good as it's getting for us. So need some bodies there. Then at pick 164, Dallin Holker, tight end, 6'5", 235, out of Colorado State. So another area where we need some depth. We need some more bodies. And so we're going to go ahead and grab Mr. Dallin. He had 766 yards, 6 touchdowns. It was a big jump for him. Only had 3 in his prior 3 years. First year at Colorado State. His second best year receiving, about a 70 receiving grade, which isn't terrible. Seems to be a decent blocker as well, 69.4 pass blocking grade. So he'll come in and he'll compete, and we'll see what happens. At pick 239, Mark Perry, safety out of TCU, 6 foot 215. Grades are not massively fantastic. 3 years at Colorado, he was in the 50s. 2 years at TCU, he's been at the 60s. Strong safety type. Yeah, obviously, you can see he's a bigger body guy, so he'll come in and hopefully fill. I mean, I guess I don't know. Ideally, you got Ward as your free safety, and then you get your new guy, if he can play, Perry, to come in as a strong safety. The problem is Petrie's sort of your long-term option, you know? So I guess eventually it becomes, who's at my front door? Becomes Petrie and then somebody else. That person's getting ignored. All right. Next up, I'm all distracted now. We have finally at pick 248. This is the wrong one. I was looking at this guy. It's Jawar Jordan. Another running back was the answer to the question. I was looking at Devon Vele myself, trying to. I kind of like Vele, by the way. But Jawar Jordan, halfback out of Louisville. So we got two different running backs that are going to come in, and I would assume at this point Ogunbowale and Singletary are gone, so that we've got full backfield here with Pierce and somebody else. So anyways, I'm going to leave it at that because this person's not leaving. Have a good